This episode of Through My Eyes was made possible through the generous support of EBSCO.
I'm Sophie. I'm 8.
I'm Ava. I'm 7.
We're going to China, and this is what it's like. Through my eyes.
China, through my eyes.
We don't have a lot of time left in Guangzhou, but we have a special place to visit today. To get there, we ride a taxi. There's a Pashu Pagoda. It was built 400 years ago. Sailors coming up the river would know they were close to Guangzhou when they saw it. Until 1840, people from outside China could only trade in Guangzhou, which they called Canton. They brought their ships up the Pearl River loaded with things the Chinese wanted to buy, like furs and seashells. With that money, the sailors filled up their ships with Chinese silks, porcelain, and tea. Then they sailed home. When they got back, people in places like London, Boston, and Salem would pay a lot of money for these Chinese goods.
This is Changzhou Island. It used to have a military academy here. That was a special school for soldiers in the Army of China. Here, people are learning how to work as a team. They have to hold on to each other while they step together. Cool. If they don't cooperate, everyone falls.
But we came to visit the other side of the island. Here is a foreigners' cemetery. Before 1840, people visiting China were not allowed to be buried anywhere in the country. But with so many sailors coming to Guangzhou, a lot of them died here. So the Chinese government said they could be buried here on this island in the Pearl River.
It was very dangerous to live on a ship, and the food was not very good. Sometimes they would get scurvy. That's a disease you get from not eating fruits and vegetables. Their eyes would turn yellow and their teeth would fall out and they would die. They could also die from other diseases, or drowning, or even falling from the masts onto the deck of the ship. Many times, sailors would leave home on a long voyage and never come back.
We find people from Denmark, Holland, England, and the United States.
John Cook Jr. was from Salem, Massachusetts.
John Dawson was from Ireland. He was a doctor.
Captain Abel Vivian commanded a big English ship called the Canton. This young man was from America. We can't read his whole name, but he drowned. Hey, this one's a girl. Charlotte Hayes was born in Sydney, Australia. But she died here when she was only 21 years old. That's pretty young. This stone only has the initials PR on it. No one here knows who this is. Maybe we can find out when we get home and come back someday.
Here's the biggest one in the whole cemetery.
Alexander Hill Everett, first resident.
Alexander Hill Everett, first resident minister
of United States of America to China. He was born
in Boston, in the state of Massachusetts, 19th March 1790.
Alexander was really smart. He went to Harvard College and graduated when he was only 16. After that, he went to work for John Quincy Adams. When Adams became president, he made Alexander the American ambassador to Spain.
Attained distinction as a statesman and a man of letters. He was the American ambassador to China and died respected and beloved at Canton on the 28th of June, 1847, in the 58th year of his age.
An ambassador is a person who goes to another country to speak for the people of his own country. He was supposed to help all the Americans working here and talking to the Chinese. It is really sad because he died right after he arrived here to start his new job.
Time to get going. We're taking the Guangzhou Metro back to the city. To pay, you first look at a map and pick out where you want to go. Then you can buy a token. The money here in China is different from the money in Hong Kong. It is called a yuan. It is worth a little more than a Hong Kong dollar, about 16 cents in the United States.
The subway platform looks like the Hong Kong Metro. But everyone here is really young. They look like they're all in high school or college.
Cars and trucks on the street. Here's where we will catch our bus. It is time to leave Guangzhou and head south. It is a long bus ride, and we will get to see the river and the countryside. Goodbye, Guangzhou!
We've had a great time in Guangzhou and learned a lot about China. We are on our way to the last stop on our trip, a small city with a long history.